Hi guys, so welcome to part 3 of the thank you favorite paper pad or paper pack ephemera folders and altered paperclip swap. So the snaps have closed because yeah, they got full pretty quickly, but this is part 3 of the tutorial, just so you guys know kind of what I'm expecting, I guess, as far as the swap and those, you know, some ideas. You guys have seen so many of these. The ephemera folders are really fun. I think it's just a great way to share your stash and just have some fun, right? So if I can link any of the items I'll be using, those will be affiliate links. They'll be in the description box, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. So today that might be things like maybe some of the extra things I'm adding, but you know, like the little glassine bags. These don't come together like this. They're usually either the brown ones, craft, or the white glassine, or like the sleeves. I'll tuck these in when I'm done. But it's going to wrap up pretty quickly. Obviously, whatever it is that you want to do for your altered paperclip, I mean, that's going to make some differences. If you ever saw my haul video, I had shown that I had picked these up at the dollar store. Super cute little stamp set. The whole thing kind of fits in here. I just don't want to encourage people to put like really thick things in here. This isn't that thick. I mean, look at that. Even if I include the whole package, if I cut this down and just repackaged it, it would work, you know? I mean, look at that. And if you take out your ruler, you'll see that this isn't even a 1/4 inch, and especially if it's in a sleeve, it won't be a 1/4 inch. But I don't want to encourage people to damage things that are inside, so I think I'm still going to include one of these. I actually like that this is on here because it keeps it kind of sturdy. But I think what I'm going to do is cut it down, because there are 1, 2, 3, 4 little alphabet stamps in here, and so this is something I'm going to include as one of my what's it called? Embellishment pieces. Oh, that's interesting. Like in the little probably machining oil, whatever these things have on them, kind of went through there. What I think I'm gonna do is cut this down so it still has a little backing. You can definitely put it back in another little like plastic container or something, or a envelope, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna pop into the glassine. So for today's video, we're gonna do to add our 3 embellishments, and it's only 3, guys. 3, I think I said like this, but 3. So you really have to make choices. Like even for me, I'm like, okay, well, I do want to include some of what is in the china cabinet, the Anna Griffin china cabinet paper pack, so it'll probably be just like one of the ephemera pieces, because I really love these guys too, and I've had these and they're so pretty and they really coordinate really well. And actually probably something more plain like this one, just because it goes with what's going on, and that is going to be considered one piece. Let me show you what these are like. I believe these are stickers. So like this strip, I would consider one. I'll probably just fold it in half so it fits easier. 1 for each pack. There's 2, let's say 3 and 4. So I'm just grabbing all 4 that I'll need for that. I originally picked these up on Amazon. Like I said, I'm going to trim these down, and what that means is I'm just going to take some scissors. Why am I always like in search of scissors? Like I have like so many pairs. And then, you know, I think 2 of them are over there where I was working on this earlier, so I didn't leave them here. So let's say, right, this is 1 alpha right here. I'll just cut it down. I'll probably take this to my paper trimmer and trim it down just so it has a backing piece, but I mean, you can do it obviously by scissors, but I'm going to cut it probably exactly where the little marks are from where they were before. So I'll have a little carrier on each one of these guys. And then I'm going to grab the china cabinet paper pack and bring out a few ephemera from there, and that will be my embellishment. So the embellishments generally, I mean, in my opinion, need to be store-bought. You know, it's not something you created, because we kind of did that with the other things, right? The die cuts and other stuff. Die cuts, again, should be die cuts that you created to count for those. If you're using cut-aparts, I would say that would be an embellishment, and each cut-apart is going to count as 1. I don't want to see a stack of cut-aparts, you know, or like 5 or 6 of them. It needs to be 3 items. Now, this is 1 strip, right? It's 1 thing. I'm going to fold it in half. That counts as 1. But 3 and only 3 items, guys. So I will be right back. So for this one, let's say I have that. I'm going to have that. And then with these guys, we have flat like ephemera or sticker pieces, and that's probably what I'll use, just because some of the other things I included were chunkier, right? So if I can get something in here that's not super dimensional, that is what I will do. Now, what's interesting about these are, they look like they're flat, but they're not. So, but they're pretty flat, so I guess that's a good thing. I do have sentiments over here. Ooh, I have even like gold pieces. Oh, this is what I was looking for. This is the one I was looking for, guys. I grabbed the wrong pack, that's all. This one. So I'll go through these and see, you know, what fits in my little packaging and also what would be really cute. Oh. Let's see if that one will fit. Would it fit in the thing? Nope, too big. So let's keep looking. And, you know, whatever makes sense, obviously, for what you're putting together, you know. That's very pretty. Little piece of ephemera. And I know, you know, generally I just leave it open to you guys, like, it needs to be this and a minimum of that, or like 5 of this, 5 of this, 5 of this. So it is very hard with the embellishments, to be honest, to only do 3, because there's so many things I would like to include. But we're just getting back into it, and I want people to stick to the rules, and so that's what it is. This time I'll use one of these little bags, and I'm just gonna leave it like this. The person, when they receive it, if they want to use it, it's kind of like a little bonus, right? But so we have this guy, and this guy, and this. And I'm just going to pop them in here and maybe put those down first and put this guy on top. That way it's not... And I kind of want this sticking out just a little bit up top because I want it to be nestled up higher so it's out of the way. You know what I'm saying? If everything's down in the pocket, it might shift in shipping, but for now, that just fits better. And that is everything, guys. So, of course, I'll do the others the same way. My other 3 folders. So you're doing 4 complete folders, right? You're going to send them in, and I'm going to send back 4 folders, 1 from each of 4 other people, right? So we have our 3 5x7 pieces, right? Well, let's go back. The folder has to be 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. It has to have 2 functional pockets that are just super basic. Sorry for
the rough edit.
Hi. I just got a little bit mixed up here. Okay. I'm gonna talk about this one because I finished up a different one and I thought, you know what? It's actually, this one is the one I should have been showing you guys because to talk about what's in here. Okay, so let me grab this from here and let's go back. Okay, so like I discussed, the 5 1/4 by 7 1/4 folder, right? Everyone has a 5 1/4 by 7 1/4 because we have to accommodate our 5x7 pieces of paper that are inside of there. I'm so sorry for the rough cut because I realized I wasn't talking about the right folder. It's this one that has my small die cuts too. So, all right, so we just put together, again, 3 embellishment items, and I mean, that could be like a piece of, you know, some ribbon. Again, if you're including ribbon or something like that, it doesn't have to be 3 yards, it doesn't have to be a whole spool, you know, washi tape, samples, just something that's thin enough that's not gonna be, you know, smashing up everything, right? That's all we want here. So we have our 3 5x7s. Remember, exactly 5x7. That's why we made our folders larger this time. We have our 3 large die cuts. So back here I have the card stand. That's what I'm considering my large ones. A large kind of like mat or frame or whatever it is, background piece, and then an A2 size card topper. It's the whole front for an A2 size card. And then we worked on our 3 sentiments, and for me, I have thankful for you, and those are stuck together because that's kind of how they are. And then I did the foiling with these 2 guys that are die cut. If you're doing sentiments kind of like this kind of thing or stamping, it should be die cut, guys. It shouldn't just be a piece of paper that's stamped and you threw it in here, okay? So it needs to be complete, whatever that sentiment is. Again, think about the thickness of what you're doing, because if you're putting that sentiment on, like my friend has, like on a banner, and it's kind of like a banner that's put together with several different pieces, just think about the thicknesses, okay? And then we have over here my 3 small die cuts, right? You have 3 small die cuts. And mine were like a border, the cute little envelope, and then a little like doily. That, again, all coordinates. It's not from this paper pack, some of those pieces, but they coordinate, right? So just keep that in mind. And then my 3 embellishments, which is just a gorgeous little ephemera teapot, those cute stickers. I'll say, how tall are these stickers? Yeah, definitely need to, I fold them in half, so there they are. And then a little stamp set, because it's small, right? Tuck all that in. When I close this up, I mean, if I measure this, and especially with our Paperclip, it's not even a 1/4 inch, and that's a lot of items, right? So again, I don't feel like before I would just kind of leave it open, but I feel for this one, just getting back into it, we really need some rules and some guidelines, so I'm limiting it to 3 of each thing, and I know you're gonna have to really curate that for that to work, and that's great. And even right now, check it out. So we have these. They fit really nicely in our small flat rate box, and that's the whole thing. Once we have all 4 together, and whenever I send these out to people, I kind of do this and that so that they fit nicer, you know? So that there's thickness is usually down in the pocket area. They're kind of layered in a way that the thickness is kind of level out. and then they get sent to the person and they arrive nice in nice shape, hopefully. So that's what we're going for, guys. That's why I know we want to be generous, but we can't put too much because then we end up damaging people's swaps, and that's not right. So I always want you to keep that in mind. So for this one, this is my last one that I need to put together. Okay. So now let's work on our altered paper clips. I'll be right back. So I just grabbed some stuff. These are the offcuts from whenever we made our folders, and I had said I was going to hold on to them. And these, you can use either side. I'm going to make 4 paper clips with these guys, and what's cool about them is that they're very linear. So I think, they're perfectly like centered kind of thing. Maybe I'll fold it here. I don't know. We'll see how long I make them, but on the sides I'm going to cut off what's here. So it's whatever you want. There's ways of making a ton of paper clips all at once where you just kind of put a bunch of paper clips on a scrap piece of paper and then just kind of, I'm trying to cut off just that little bit that's the edge of the plate, so I hope I have that kind of straight. Make sure that looks pretty good. And then you put a whole strip of, like a longer, wider piece of printed paper, or pattern paper, should I say, on top of that. So if you can imagine, like, let's say this was twice as thick and I just folded it in half, right? So the score line is up here. And that's our basic piece, and we're just going to put a bunch of clips. So clip, 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 and then all the way down. I'm just not doing that because I need to use this paper. All the way down, and then you have your pattern paper and you put that over this and just glue, 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 make sure everything's glued, and then when you cut them, you already have however many clippies already covered and made, right? Again, this is an altered paper clip. I didn't say it has to be hidden. It's just whatever you want for your altered paper clip, but again, if you're going to put like charms on it, they need to be very, very low profile because you don't want it getting in the way of anything. I would probably recommend not putting charms, but it depends on the thickness of what you've included, right? So see, I try to make that pretty centered. Now I know if I trim this right in the middle, it's going to be at 6 inches, right? Because it's basically half a 12-inch piece of paper. Let's see where we're at. If that design is pretty much centered, yeah. All right, well, I don't normally do things so it's like, okay, this has to be this way, and this many, I don't normally even measure, but for right now, this is about 1.5 inches wide, and it's going to be about 3 inches tall, so I need a couple of these to also be, I'm going to start off with 6 inches tall, even though I know I don't need that, and then just a little bit smaller than the 1.5 inches because I don't want it sticking out the sides. So I'm going to make several, obviously, or the 4 that I need, but for right now, I'm just going to take that, and I'm showing you how to make a hidden altered paper clip. Like I said, people like to do those little flag kind. It's really cute. So I'm going to turn this over and just score it at 3 inches. Right, yeah. I'm going to score this one at 3 inches too, but I know this one I'm going to cut down. I don't really care, but either way, I just want to score it right in the middle. And I made it easy. The reason I made it 6 inches just like the other one is so that I can fold it evenly. And this one too, but once this one tucks over this one, it's going to stick out. That's just what they do. So, excuse me. Oh, and some people, one cute thing that you can do that doesn't add super bulk is leave a little, pop a little hole up here, like with a little, just cut it out. You can cut it with scissors or whatever, or with like a hole punch, just the very tip here. And so when you put your paper clip in here, it kind of sticks out here, and then sometimes people put like little ribbon or something, but again, it cannot be like this huge thing. Okay, so that's why I'm just, I know there's lots of ways to make your things. Look at your folder and see how thick they are and what you can do, and that doesn't mean it's sticking out the top and it's gonna be out of your packaging. No. Okay, guys, we always keep things very subtle here as far as these swaps are concerned. Okay, so let me put that up again. I'm showing you how to make like an altered paper clip, and this clippy can be any size. It can be a mini size. It'll still work just the same because this just nestles in here and keeps it open. So basically, you're gonna take whatever clip. I have some that are black here. I have this one. This one's different from that one. It doesn't matter. Just gonna put that on there, all right? And then this is going to nestle in here. At least that's how I'm doing it. Again, there's lots of different ways, but you really want, the sides to match up and this bottom edge to pretty much be flush with the other piece. And this is some thick paper, so hopefully I can cut this, but I'm just going to cut that straight there, because if it's nice and flush and it's glued down, it'll be easier to clip things. If this is kind of further up inside, like way up here, you know? When people go to use it, it'll hit that area. So it's better if the whole thing just starts off where you want it to start, you know? So that way, when people use it, it's not gonna snag on anything. Now, let's see. Hot glue is probably your best friend with this. I'm just going to use regular glue, and I always use regular glue. But if you want to put hot glue really quickly, then it'll set up really quickly, right? So whatever glue you like. I put a ton, right up to the edges. It's very important that it's like right down here, because that's where you don't want it to snag. All over. Ooh, some birds are going crazy out there. Okay, so I'm going to put that there. And I hold this one side for a while. Basically, you're gluing that piece of paper, right, that side to this top flap. And once I think, you know, that's enough time, I'll just open up the other side, and you see that's glued down now. And glue this side. Again, glue all the way to the very edges. All of that. And holding those. So you really want to make sure it's nice and flush. I try to assure that all the edges are, because you don't want to look in there and see that there's a big gap. So just, I'm gonna keep doing this until it's set up, and I'll be right back. And that is your basic. Now, I have said on the rules that it has to have at least 3 or more embellishments, so besides the paper. So this is the paper. This doesn't count as an embellishment. Just because you made the paperclip, the altered paperclip or hidden altered paperclip, does not mean that that's part of it. You also have to decorate this. Again, very flat. And the reason I say 3 is because some people don't do anything. They just do something like this, or they do way too much, and we need to keep it nice and flat, right? You know, I have scraps of paper from when I was creating these things. I mean, that honestly, I mean, if you want to just take something like this is from that edge, you know, I can kind of stick that down here, maybe wrap it around the edge, and that's just another accent piece. And what I mean by that is, like, glue it down like that. It looks like a little banner, a little something, a little sprig, you know, whatever it is. I pulled this out because I think it has a lot of small, like, ferns and cute things, so for like an accent piece. So let's see what we have in here. I don't know that I've used this. I know I picked it up not too long ago, but... Okay, is there another? Nope, that's it. I think this is supposed to have something smaller, but maybe that's it. Are there only 4? Yeah, 4. Okay. Let's run this through some gold paper. I was gonna do brown paper, but yeah, I can. Most of it's gonna be hidden, like this back parts. To be honest, I don't care. I'm just gonna run it so that we have this portion. Well, no, I better run it just in case. Alright, we're gonna use this shiny one. Oh my goodness, sorry guys, I had to take a quick pause. All of a sudden I was like, it just looked like a lot brighter here in the house, and my door had popped open. That's not creepy at all. So I was like, okay, so I went and looked at my Ring doorbell, because I'm like, I did run an errand, so I probably just didn't close it well, but that's still creepy. And my Ring didn't show anything, so I'm like, alright, I guess it's just me. That was really creepy. Anyway, I'm gonna run this through. And then I pulled out those little stamps I showed you guys earlier from Dollar Tree. Again, this is just, you know, accent pieces. If I had some of the brown scrap paper that I used earlier, that same, is it latte color? I would have used that, and maybe I will on something else. But for now, we have this guy, our base. I was thinking about doing something like this. I brought this little guy out, and then I have the scraps again, whatever we cut out. So I was like, maybe I can do a little stamping. Where are the stamps? Oh, maybe brown ink, just to keep it in those same kind of colors. I was thinking about just using that one guy. Let's go with this guy. And where is... There it is. It's a little stamping block. I know whenever I was a close to my heart representative, they would say to use the stamping block that's like about the size of what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Like what you're stamping. I'm just putting this randomly on here. And honestly, I could cut it out first and then stamp it. You know, whatever. So there we have a little bee. And maybe she'll be random and different on the other ones that I do. So that's one item. This will be the second thing, and then I have an idea for a third thing, and maybe I'll do that one from like some leftover brown paper. But we have this little punch, and I kind of wanted it to be something like that. Like, I don't know, I think that's good. just so that's kind of off in there. And again, these things are all going to be very flat. And a lot of times I like to put like a little word sentiment or something like that. I honestly thought this was, oh, maybe that way. Yeah, something like that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just glue that down so I don't misplace it. And then I brought out my little Leah Griffiths punch that makes a little bow, because I want to make a flat bow. And I think that'll look cute. And I said stamping or stenciling can count as a thing, so honestly this is already 3 things. We have the die cut shape here, right? That's 1 thing. Oh, that'd be cute if it was hanging off more. This little guy is 2, and that could be the 3rd thing. If you want to make it so it's so flat, that's why I'll count stenciling and stamping as a thing on its own. And again, I'm gonna keep it really flat, but I would have loved to pop that up. And maybe, if anything, what I'll do is only glue this one area, and so that the other piece kind of stands up, this back part. So there we have a couple things. And let me look for a brown scrap. Oh, I think I have one right here. Yep, look at that. Okay. And see, ooh, I just want the bow, so I'm gonna make sure the bow part is in here. I don't really care about the heart. It makes it a little bit hard to see if it's the brown paper is touching. Yay! Okay, like right there. I hope I didn't lose my pieces. That would not be great. Okay. And I'm just gonna make this little guy into a very flat bow, so I'm gonna flatten it out like that. And if I really wanted to, I could just use this part, you know, put a little something cute on it. But I don't know how I'm gonna do that. Okay. And then this little guy, generally for making, it's supposed to go this way and then down this way. Ah! Let me glue these together, that way it's not so gangly, and I'll close up just a little bit so you guys can see that better. I'm just gonna glue this flat, flat, flat. So let's just put glue from one side to the other. If the glue would ever come out, that'd be great. Okay. I'm gonna hold that till it's flat and steady, and then I'm gonna put this on it, okay? I'll be right back. Okay. And then this part goes behind here. And I'm just gonna make it in a way that just kind of holds on there. And this little guy tucks around the front. This is such a cute little die cut. Oh my gosh. So petite and adorable. And I'm gonna hold that there for a little bit, and then I'll put a little bit more glue just to tuck the rest of this little guy up this way, but I'm gonna let it set up for a moment before I do that. And I'll just tuck that around. And it is small, so on this one, what I did to tuck that last piece is I just kind of pushed it with a pokey tool and just held it down in the back. And I think I'm just gonna pop it right there. And that is my 3rd thing. And it's just a little collage of stuff. And that is my hidden ultra paper. I'm gonna let that set up. I'll do them all pretty much the same. Obviously the paper in the background is gonna be a little bit different because I'm just using the offcuts, and I have 2, I can make 2 of each color. But I will be right back. So I have my little folder here again. 3 5x7s, 3 large die cuts, 3 sentiments. Die cut sentiments, okay, 3 smaller die cuts, and 3 embellishment items, and you guys saw what those were. And when I close it up, again, I'm not squishing it really for it to be this thin, it's just that's how thin it is. And then I have my little altered paperclip with the 3 embellishment items. Again, you know, if you need me to count your stamping as an item, that's fine. Like if it was just these 2 things, I would say 1, 2, 3, you know, but I did put 3 different things. And we just close it up. Now, I know some people like to make theirs so that they go on the side here. You can still do that with an altered paper clip, a hidden altered paper clip. You can do that with a regular paper clip. Now, see how this is sticking out, and this is already 5 1/4. This is already bigger than we normally do, so I would recommend making your clippies to hold on to the top. And also it helps from things, you know, sliding out. So that is one of my swaps. I will do the other 4 pretty much exactly the same. I want to show you a couple things. I have these sleeves. These are like stamp and die storage sleeves, so they're plastic and they're super reusable, of course. You can definitely pop them in here. These also help you stay within like the 1/4 inch thing. I mean, I'm not saying if it fits in here, that's okay, because you can probably get it to 1/2 inch and shove it in there. But what I'm saying is it keeps it nice and taut. And then you can just put that down, maybe put a sticker, maybe put washi. Don't wrap it up. Like I said, nothing extra out here when you bag it up. If you don't bag it up, just don't. That's fine. They can arrive like this. They don't have to be in any kind of bag. Please don't use like anything that's not a sleeve, basically. Or like I said, if you do like to get the gift bags from the Dollar Tree, like those gift bags that, you know, like a goodie bag, just put it in there, that's fine, but just fold it over. Don't tie it at the top with like the little twist tie it comes with, or with like bows or anything else. Please, no what's stuff called? Tissue paper wrapping, nothing that's wrapped that where I need to rewrap it, like nothing like that, please. It all adds bulk and time and all that, and I just rather not. This one is what I'm a fan of. This one is like a photo sleeve, but I mean, this one really does keep it into that 1/4 inch, and it's adjustable. It already comes with its own little stick, and you can just do that, right? Oh, another question people ask if they have to include one for me. Never necessary to send me anything other than the postage, so no worries. If you would like to, that's great, but please don't feel like you have to make 5 of these. You don't. 4, and you get 4 back. And I super appreciate it. Thank you guys. Thanks to everyone for joining, and just have fun with it. I mean, I'm so curious to see all the different paper pads that you guys use when it comes in. Oh, one other thing I guess I could mention is, again, people like to be able to thank their swap partners. If you want to include literally just like a business card size piece of paper, you know, smaller, maybe with your information, that'd be great. What I do a lot of times is I print out my using my little label printer, and I just have my name like curated by VianneyCreates, and I stick it on the folder on the back. That way it's always there. A lot of times I like to pull folders to use to show you guys, and it doesn't have a name, and it's so long, like there's so many entries I don't remember who sent it, but if you just stick it right on there or write it on here, that's fine too. And if you can include the name of the paper pad you use, that'd be great too, right, on that little label or even on this label. Just knowing if you're including like your home address and it's in here, it might show. So just tuck it away in a way, or turn it around so it's not facing the camera, and I will try to be cognizant of that when I'm opening them, right? But yeah, don't include like a whole other card or a gift card for something, like none of that, guys. We don't need any of those things. Just a very flat piece of paper with your name and info for people to email you or thank you or however, because I know people like to do that. They'll contact me and say, oh, that person didn't include it, can I get it from you? And then I contact that person and say, hey, this person was like, is it okay? And most of the time they say yes, but I won't just give the information out without asking. So if that's something you can take care of, that would be better. All right, guys, well, thanks for watching and have fun. And if you have any questions, participants, after you watch all the videos, please email me. I'll check it like once daily until swaps start coming in. They start letting people know they're in, and then we start doing all the reveals and all that. And that usually takes several days after they all come in, right? Or the bulk of them come in. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you at the next one. Bye now.